This video is going to cover what I find as one of the more painful parts of AutoCAD. Um, Ultimately, printing your work uh, can be hard because you have to set up the plot styles, they call it, so that these colors print in black and white and print correctly. When I worked in an office, I didn't have to worry about this because we used an office plot style, and it was all set up for me by our IT person, our computer person, and I just would hit, you know, Command P or Control P, and it would print magically and always look right. Now I have to try to help you get there. So if you were to try to go up here and turn this into a PDF, let me show you what happens if you just go up and say like File. Here, let's go into make sure we're in AutoCAD. Go to File and go to like Export. Make it a PDF. We're going to call it, we'll just call it test so I can find it. It's on the desktop over here. Okay, and I'm going to go save. It's going to turn away, and once it's all done, I'll go to the desktop and I'll show you what it looks like. Let's see, where did there we go. Okay, I'm going to minimize this. There's my test. When I open it up, it looks terrible. Okay, it's all in color. Everything should be black and white. It should just be black ink. So I'm going to show you kind of a workaround I figured out just to keep us moving. I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to go back into AutoCAD over here. And instead of just going File, Export, I'm going to go Print. I'm going to ignore this warning, and I'm going to look at all the settings we can do here. Okay, first thing I would make sure is that it says Extents, which means everything. Click on Fit to Paper so you don't just get part of your page. Then you can go preview it, and you can see the preview tells you, oh, it fits the page, but it's all in color. That's no good, so we got to fix that. So let's try it again. If you go now and you go into Edit Page Setup, this is where you change it. You get a whole bunch more settings. Okay, some of them are still there from before. Extents, Fit to Page. You might have to toggle between landscape and portrait to get it right. Okay, the printer doesn't matter because we're going to end up saving it as a PDF. But what you do need to do is right here, this should be like in bright red, plot style. Okay, if I change it, you can see there's many different ways to change. And I have found monochrome, which means just one color, will make it black and white. So do that, hit OK, and then sometimes when it prints you get a PDF option, sometimes it doesn't. If you come down here, you can save as PDF and that works, or you can just preview it. And if you see the preview and it looks good, look at that, it's a thing of beauty. Then you can go up and you can go File, Save As. Okay, so that will let you make it a black and white. I'm going to save it to the desktop. I'm going to call it Test. It's an Adobe PDF. Save it. Let's just replace the old one because this one is a nice one. Make sure that these lines that mark the edge of your work are on the page. Okay, if they're not, you might have to shift them left or right to make them fit. Let me minimize this and we'll look for this. I'll cancel this. We'll minimize that. There's my test, and if I make it big, I can see it looks beautiful. Okay, so that's the first thing you have to do. And you might have to just watch this video again because I know there's a lot of steps. Okay. Again, the way I got there really quick is I went File, I went Print. I said ignore this message, Edit Page Setup. And that's where, see, this keeps clicking back. And you want to keep it on monochrome. Okay, so now if you hit that, and let's just do this one also, hit OK. I'm going to try doing what we call a batch print. Okay, so let's just cancel out of that now that the setting is set up, I think, the right way. So if I go up here to File, Batch, Publish, I can print my whole set in one step. I'm going to add the current drawing. you can see it brings in everything, model space, and then all your sheets. Okay, you don't want to print model space, so you're just going to minus that. And let's not print all the sheets because it takes too long for me to show you. So I'm going to say we'll just pick the first 4. So every sheet, if you notice, you can click on it, you can minus it, but we'll print 4 sheets. Presets, I experimented with this. I don't know if it makes a difference, so I'm just going to keep it on the smallest file. All right, and then PDF options, I think I'm going to ignore that. Let's just hit publish, and we'll see if it works. I'm going to save it as like, let's call it test set on the desktop. I have noticed sometimes when I set up the monochrome through printer setup plot styles, it saves it, and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so we're going to find out what happens here. It's always a great mystery. So let's see, there's our test set. Test set still came in color. Okay, so that's lousy. But at least I can show you I have four sheets in one set. Okay. Let me go back into AutoCAD one last time. I want to keep this video short. Okay. Again, if you go File, Print, Edit Page Setup, change this to be monochrome at the top, Fit to Page, hit OK. You can save as PDF if you want. It's a slightly different interface. Honestly, there's just so many settings in AutoCAD, it's overwhelming. That's why really, when you work in an office, it's so much nicer because they just set it up for you and you're just in charge of designing things and you're not in charge of all this sort of technical stuff that we have to deal with. So I'm kind of learning it with you. But you can see when I went and printed it, again, I got one good sheet here. If you can't give me a batch publish with all the sheets looking in black and white, feel free to just do each one as a PDF and you can submit those separately. Depending on the type of Adobe Acrobat you have, you could take your sheets and add them in here. If you go, I don't know if I can add them from where I am or not. Let's see, create PDF. I can go create, test set open. If I go, there is a way to add sheets to this. I don't know if you can do it as simply as like minimizing this and just dragging another sheet into it. Yeah, you can do that. Okay, so you could have your multiple PDFs and then drag them all into one PDF at the left side there. Make sure you put them in the right order. Okay, you can move the sheets around to get them in the right order. So that would be one way to get a set, because it sure is nice when you have one PDF and you have all your drawings in that one PDF. But I'll tell you, printing in black and white out of AutoCAD can be painful. So hopefully this video helps you. If it doesn't, let me know and I'll try to find a better way to explain it to you.